Hello everyone, myself Purnima Vadak, Assistant Professor in KC College of Engineering and Management Studies and Research, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication. Welcome to the course of Microprocessor and Peripherals Interfacing. Today, in this lecture, we will be having a look at Introduction to the Microcomputer System or a microprocessor based system. So, at the end of this lecture, you will be able to draw the microcomputer system, name the various parts of a microprocessor based system, and explain the types of buses in a microcomputer based system. So, let us begin. Let us first try to understand what is the meaning of microprocessor. So to understand that, let us take the example of very simple things which we see in our day-to-day life. Okay, so have a look at a traffic signal or a computer or a mobile phone or an oven. If you consider the example of traffic signal, in the traffic signal, we see that the color of a traffic light changes from red to yellow after a specific interval of time. Then again, it changes from yellow to green and so on. So all this happens automatically after a regular intervals of time. Similarly, if you have used the oven, in the oven, there are some numbers or the menu written on its front panel, and in the book or the manual which you get along with the oven, in that there are specific codes given for a particular recipe. So if you select a particular recipe, you just have to type or press the code for that particular recipe and keep the ingredients in the oven, and then automatically when the beep or the sound comes, your dish is ready. That means the temperature or the timing required for that particular recipe is all set in that oven. So how does this things works automatically? Also in the mobile phone or a computer, you just give a click and the further operations takes place. So all these devices have something called as microprocessor in them, which helps in this automatic functioning of these devices. Obviously, the microprocessor which is used in the traffic signal is very much different or less advanced than the microprocessor which is used in the oven and the microprocessor used in the mobile phones. But the basic architecture or the basic concept is very important to understand it. So, let us study that basic concept. Now, let me ask you one question. When you want to buy a phone, mobile phone or a laptop, what are the parameters which you look for? Generally, we look for a battery, we look for a camera quality, and we look for a processor and many more parameters. But if we are more concerned about the working speed of that device, then we pay more attention to the processor. The more advanced the processor is, the faster is the speed of that device. So this processor is nothing but the microprocessor which we are going to study. Now let us see the meaning of the word microprocessor. The microprocessor can be split into two parts, micro and the processor. The basic meaning of word micro is small, and the processor is something which is processing the data according to the instruction and generating the result. So you can consider processor as a central processing unit. When this central processing unit is built on a single chip or a single IC, you can call it as a microprocessor. So this microprocessor has seen a big history of evolution. It has started in 1971 with the Intel 4004 processor, which was a 4-bit microprocessor. Then as the time advanced, it went on developing. Then they had an 8-bit microprocessor. Then in 1978, the first 16-bit microprocessor was developed by Intel. That was in 1978, and today, till 2020 it has seen number of advancement and which has led to various complicated operations happening at a very fast speed. Okay, but the basic architecture of 8086 is very important, so we are going to study the architecture of 8086 in our course. Besides Intel, various other manufacturers like IBM, MIPS has developed number of microprocessors. So, as we have seen, microprocessor is a single chip CPU. That means it is just the CPU. But can the CPU function alone? If you have a desktop system at a home, you must have seen that you have various parts like a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and a CPU. So out of that, if any of the part is missing, can it function? No, obviously no. Even though CPU can be called as the brain of the entire system because it processes the data, but still other parts are also required. So if you consider a basic microprocessor based system, the three main parts are a microprocessor unit, memory, and I/O ports. These I/O ports connect the microprocessor unit to the other I/O devices. So microprocessor based system consists of three parts: microprocessor or central processing unit, memory, and I/O interfaces. Also, you can observe these three major parts are interconnected with each other with the help of some connections. These connections are called as bus. And based on their function, these buses are divided into three types: the address bus, the data bus, and the control bus. So here we can see there are four parts: microprocessor unit, memory, I/O interfaces, and bus. The bus is divided into three parts: data bus, address bus, and control bus. So let us see these parts one by one. So first is the microprocessor unit. What does the microprocessor unit consist of? It has an ALU, control logic, and register array. Okay, so what are the various input devices of a microprocessor based system? Basically, the input devices are the devices through which we can provide the data to the CPU so that it can process it. So we can have number of examples. Some of it are written over here, like a keyboard, mouse, sensors, switches, converter. You can have a scanner, and so on. All the devices which takes the data from outside to the processor, they are called as the input devices. Similarly, output devices are the devices on which, after processing of the data by the CPU, the results or the output are given. So few examples of output devices are shown over here. They can be your printer, the monitors, the displays, various types of displays, speakers, printers, alarms, simple LED or the various lamps to indicate the output, and so on. So these are some of the examples of input and output devices. Then coming at the microprocessor unit, as we saw, it consists of three major parts: the arithmetic and logic unit. As the CPU is the brain of your entire computer system, this ALU is the brain of a CPU. Okay, ALU is the short form of arithmetic and logic unit. As its name clearly indicates, it is able to perform various arithmetic and logical operations on the data given to it. Then we have a register array. Register array are the number of registers which are provided in the 8086 to store the data or addresses, but they all provide the temporary storage during the execution of the program. Then we have a control unit. Obviously, when your CPU or a microprocessor is working with memory and other I/O devices, there should be some synchronization for the various actions taking place. So for maintaining this synchronization, there is a control unit which provides all the timing and control signals. Next part is the memory. As we all are aware, memory is used for storage. So even in the microcomputer based system, memory is used for storing, but it stores everything in the binary format. It is basically used for storing the data, the instructions, and also the result which is obtained after the operation. Sometimes rather than sending it to the output device, it has to be stored, and in that case memory is used for storing it. Buses. Buses were nothing but the interconnection between the three major parts of a microprocessor based system, and they were address bus, data bus, and control bus. So address bus, according to its name, it is used to carry the address of the location where we want to write the data or from where we want to read the data. So it is basically associated with the data transfer location carrying. So if a processor has n address lines, it can access 2 raised to n memory locations. For example, in 8086 microprocessor, we have 20 bit address bus. So 8086 is capable of accessing 2 raised to 20, that is 1 megabyte of memory. Data bus, it will be carrying or transferring the data or the information between microprocessor and memory or IO devices or vice versa. The important point is the data buses are bidirectional. That means they can carry from microprocessor to the external devices or from the external devices to the microprocessor, both way. Control bus. Control bus is used to carry the control signal. As we have seen earlier, there is a control unit which generates the control signal for timing and synchronization purpose. These signals are transferred over this control bus. So, summary of the entire lecture, we have seen that microprocessor is a single chip CPU. The microprocessor based system consists of microprocessor unit, memory and input and output interfaces. All these subparts of a microprocessor based system are interconnected by bus. There are basically three types of buses: address bus, data bus, and control bus. Within the microprocessor unit, we have ALU, that is arithmetic and logic unit, control logic, and register arrays. Thank you.